Okay, now wouldn't it be really, really terrific if I just move that back and now the sign falls and smashes everything? That's kind of like the topic today. So yeah, today is kind of that luck. Talking about a little bit of luck, shall we say? And like I've always said, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have good luck, any luck at all. So last night, I had a live stream on my main channel, Cruising Dawn's Family Vacations, Cruising with Dawn, whatever you know it by, and I am online, everything's going well. I'm all set up to go about a half hour beforehand. The guys are here, we're setting up in different rooms so we can monitor the chat and all that kind of stuff. It's all good. And then all of a sudden, about 10 minutes before I'm about to go live, my bandwidth for the entire area goes phew. Now, if you don't know what the bandwidth is, if you're unfamiliar with computers and everything, basically it's how fast you can upload and download things from the computer. A higher bandwidth makes things smoother and clearer and everything looks good. Well, normally my bandwidth here in the house, because I pay for the highest I can possibly get in my area, is normally between 50 and 60 for a download speed. As I go live, it goes from 64 down to 7. That's right, almost 10% of my normal speed. And I end up going through my entire hour-long live stream where on my computer, because I'm filming directly into my camera, I look perfectly clear. But apparently I was pretty blurry if you were watching me on a television or if you were watching me on a large computer screen, but I was fairly clear if you're watching me on a tablet or if you're watching me on the phone. So that's, I have to go now. It's too late. You can't cancel it because you've planned it. You've let everybody know. They've taken the time to tune in, and I don't want to disappoint everybody, and I'm trying to answer a whole bunch of questions for everyone. And literally I sign off at about 2 minutes after 9. And at 9:15, my bandwidth just goes from 7 to 69. Like that, literally after I signed off. What are the odds that it happened exactly when my live stream was? Randomly. And I monitor my bandwidth all the time because I do a lot of downloading, I do a lot of uploading and editing on my computer. So I have a fast editing computer. I have probably one of the fastest computers you will ever see. I spend a lot of money because I do this for a living and I needed it to work quickly. So this is not a Best Buy computer that I went out and bought. This computer cost more than my son's car just did. So it works really, really well. It's super fast. And I monitored that. Like I have a little icon that just brings up how my bandwidth is. I've never, ever, ever seen it drop that low. But yet, as the old saying goes, the show must go on. So if you were watching me last night and you're saying, man, Dawn looks a little blurry today. Well, unfortunately, that's the reason I looked a little blurry yesterday. It was very, very frustrating to me, but there was literally nothing I can do. It had nothing to do with equipment on my end or anything like that. It was the bandwidth for the entire area where I live. So yeah, just go. It's still there. It hasn't fallen and smashed my table yet. So yeah, on that, it has been up now 2 weeks since it fell the first time. The nails haven't budged, so I think, knocking on wood, I think it's good to go. I don't think it's going to fall now. So yeah, that's a good thing. So great that I did not smash all my stuff. The live stream went off, whether it was blurry or not. It's kind of like my motto on cruising has always been, and basically in life, you just have to learn to roll with the punches, right? If it's beyond your control, there's no use really worrying about it and sweating about it and letting it like hammer on your mind. So you're always thinking and you're going, oh man, I wish that wouldn't be like that. I wish that wouldn't be like that. Because it will drive you nuts. It would drive you absolutely crazy. So the best thing in life is just learn to roll with those punches. And that way you also learn to deal with anything that pops up in your way. I don't know how many people that I run into now, nowadays, where when they're confronted with a problem, they're looking for other people how to solve it. Well, what are you going to do about it? Or what are you going to do to make it better for me? Or can't the government fix it for me? Shouldn't the government be paying for that for me? This kind of thing. And in all reality, it makes you subservient to everyone else if you don't know how to fix things yourself. If the littlest thing pops up and you curl up in a ball in the corner because you're panicking, don't know what to do, that's not a good thing. And unfortunately, I know a few people like that now. That literally something comes up and they panic to the point where they're a mess. And that's no way to be. You need to learn to be able to face things head on and deal with them. And if you're confident in your own abilities and your own, I know how I'm going to be okay. Life gets so much better. How do I word it? It just makes things like I've never come across something that I've ever said, that's it, I give up. You gotta fight for things. You gotta do things. You gotta strive for better. You can't just expect better to come. And so, yeah, I see that a lot. I see people who do not know how to deal with any adverse situation that comes up. And I don't know where that's come from. I don't know where that mentality has come from. I don't know who's teaching people to be that way. But I tell you, there's no way my parents ever looked at me and said, somebody else will fix that for you, or I'll fix that for you. My parents would give me anything in the world if I asked for them. Anything in their control. But they raised me to the point where, hey, I want that new bike, or there's this thing I really want. I would go and earn the money to get it, or I would make something happen. It was never ever about how my parents can get me things, or how somebody else is the reason I'm not doing well. And yeah, unfortunately, I have a very close friend who I'm trying to help through some situations right now, that literally the littlest thing that happens in their life, it's like the end of the world and they can't cope. And I don't know how some people ever got into that situation, and I do not envy people in that situation. That must be hell, to not be able to count on yourself to get you out of your own troubles, or even to be able to let something just roll off your back and forget about it. Just to have it nag and nag and nag and nag on your mind to the point where you cannot think of anything else, and it ruins everything else around you. That must be horrible. It really must be horrible. So if you feel that way or anything like that, maybe reach out to somebody you know who seems to be the opposite, and talk to them, reach out to them, and maybe it'll help you get a little less stressed in your life. Because there's a lot to actually be stressed about. But those little things that you just let pile up and pile up and pile up, that is really an easy fix. A lot of the times, you just need to learn to go ahead and do it and not look for somebody else to do it. It's worked for me. It worked for other people. It can work for you, I think. I'm no psychologist. I'm not an expert. But yeah, I also don't curl up in a ball in the corner when the first sign of trouble shows its head.